Let's start now and talk about Coinbase, and this is the main topic of our video today, is the fair value of Coinbase and the due diligence that we can do together to know exactly what this stock or this company is able to do. Again, we are analyzing a company that's reflecting this stock, so I'm not here to tell you how to trade on a short term or a weekly or a swing. I'm here for long-term investors. And hey, you want to learn about if you are a short or a day trader, it's good to know what this company does and where they get the revenue from, which we're gonna see today. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you what is the fair value of the stock as of today, or actually as of tomorrow, as of yesterday when I did the analysis. Now let's start. Enough talking and let's talk. If this company is very interesting, it's an exchange. So there's a NASDAQ exchange. There's a lot of exchanges in the world, but this is the cryptocurrency exchange. That's why it's very interesting. It's the disruption of financial systems across the world. So that's why it might be a little bit or face a lot of issues. Or no, hey, it's gonna be like a new thing, like social media when it popped on 2008, right? So let's see. First, let's take a look on the cryptocurrencies and especially on the Bitcoin trading volumes from various exchanges from various around the world from 2020. As you can see that the US is leading the market. They were trading around 1.5 billion US dollars, then followed by Russia, Nigeria, Europe, and then China. So don't worry about China. China's still not the top cryptocurrency effective. It is actually one of the 5 or the 10 top, but it's not. I mean, Europe's still stronger than China, well, in 2020. So that's why I think that the whole China thing is going to rebound. I think the cryptocurrencies now, it's a buy opportunity, just my opinion. It's not an advice. So think before you trade, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is the biggest market for cryptocurrency still the US. And this is a reflection from the Bitcoin traded volume in 2020. All this trading is going onto a couple of crypto exchange platform. Coinbase was one of the first, and of course they had another Chinese, which is worldwide and number one crypto trading, which is Binance. Binance is very well known. It's cheaper than Coinbase as a value, and I wanted to see like which one is winning per market, just to know exactly how people like the Coinbase. In the US, you can say that Coinbase is leading in Google trend in the last 12 months. So we can know now, we can have a conclusion that the Coinbase is a market leader in the US for crypto exchange. If we're gonna check other markets, if we check Russia, Binance is way ahead of Coinbase. Coinbase had a little bit of fame and demand, I think, back when they had IPO'd, not much of a exchange. Then look at Nigeria, which is the third country trading for Coinbase, for Bitcoins. You can see also Nigeria is using Binance. Even though that back in 2020, both of them had the same thing, but you can see Binance products and fees have won and they dominated the Nigerian market. Looking at the United Kingdom, you can see that Coinbase had the lead in the 2020 Jan, and then Binance actually grew much higher. With all fairness, I think that still this market is a 50-50 between the two of them, with a little bit skewed into Coinbase. China way ahead of Binance, obviously around 80%. Binance dominating that China market. Well, now the Chinese market is gonna drop, so Binance giving that majority of their income gonna come from China. We're gonna see a lot of drop in Binance earnings. Well, of course, it's not a public company, but for them, however, Coinbase will not be affected as much. But the US still the number one traded cryptocurrency for 2020. They had around more of $1.5 billion traded, and the other top 5 together, they're almost went more than 50% of the US does. So this tell you one thing, that the US still is the biggest market for cryptocurrency, and Coinbase is the biggest and the market leader in the US. Summary for this part: leading market for Bitcoin is still US. Coinbase dominating US market. However, Binance is actually catching up. Action to increase the Coinbase market share is very simple. They need to diversify products and revenue streams. They need to infiltrate other regions as well, especially Russia and Nigeria as key markets for them. Next part is to have a deeper look on their financials. As you can see, Coinbase majority of income and revenue comes from retail investors. They account of 1.5 almost 1.4 billion dollars revenue updated. This is for the new quarter, so these the recent numbers until March 31st of 2021. So I don't know when are you hearing this episode, but this is very latest numbers. Institution, we have seen an increase in institutional investors. It's now 85 million revenue dollars. Both of them have grew from 2020 by 10%. Other revenues, they have around 204 millions, and they have subscription and services revenue with 56 million dollars. Their operating expense is around I don't know how much actually. Yeah, it will be around 800, 600, 700 million dollars. So they have a net income of $700. Yeah, sorry, I had to cut and come back. I had a phone call not related to crypto. All right. So here is more depth on the revenue. So basically, they generate substantial revenue from transaction fees from trades that occur on our platform. So basically, this is the measure of their revenue, which is on the trades that goes on the revenue. The transaction fees earned is based on the price and the quantity of the crypto assets that is bought, sold, or withdrawn. So yes, they make money when people buy, they make money when people sell, and they make money when people withdraw, which is really good. But however, it depends on the price of Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin now, it's like 38K. It is around 20 to 30% down, and Bitcoin is a very big major of their own assets. So we're gonna see definitely a revenue hit in the next quarter for them. But never know what's gonna happen with Bitcoin. Like, you never know when Bitcoin is gonna rebound, how much it's gonna rebound. So it's still a very interesting and a bumpy road for these guys. Other revenue they have is subscription and services fee. Basically, is something about store, stake, and distribute. So custodial fee revenues when they store your stuff, your crypto, they take a percentage. Staking revenue is basically when your crypto is working for you and get like a dividend kind of payment. It's something in the US only. And distribute is when they have campaign earnings, something like that. It is still considered as a very minimal revenue, but I would like to see this one increase. As you can see, the revenue source, 86% of the revenue is transaction, 3% is only services, 11% is crypto asset sales revenue, because they own crypto by themselves and sometimes they sell it. So they themselves, they are traders as well. And sometimes they take also corporate interest on income because they have money and they have liquidation which is stored in banks, and they take interest from that. So this is all their transaction, all the revenue sources. As you can see, they are very dependent on the transaction revenues, especially from retail investors. Now, just to emphasize how the US is very important and China is very less important for them, you can see that the revenue by geography, US is $1.4 billion in 2020. They have increased their US market by 10% from 2020 to 2021. Outside of the US have increased by 14%, which is good, but I would like really to focus. I would wish that the Coinbase executive focus more on Russia and Nigeria. key KPIs for them, if you're gonna track Coinbase on the long run and you would like to know what to look for, these basically what is driving their. So for example, they have 56 verified users, which is 65% increase from 2020. A huge demand. We're seeing a huge bull market for the crypto, and that's why they have new registration. From these registrations, we have a monthly unique traded units, so 61 million trades on a monthly basis, which is also great and has driven a lot of revenue. So you can see there is a huge increase in the assets on the platform, the trading volumes, and the net income they generated. So the numbers are, I'm gonna say, like, look, 1,200 increase, 1,000 increase, 2,000 increase, and 1,900 increase adjusted EBITDA. You can see as well the number of trades are increasing. So most of the cryptocurrency market, if you've seen it, it is not a long run kind of a market. It's more of a driving the daily traders, the weekly traders, the swingers, stuff like that. These guys have been increasing. It was increased by 11%, the date trading per 28 days rolling basis. So you can see that's what drives the revenue as well. This is the expense report. The one point I want to show you here, that they managed to get a net income from 40% after that 2020, which is only 17%. So their net income has drive and increased significantly. Risks. As stated by Coinbase themselves, there are many risk factors to their company, and especially to the stock, if you would like to invest in this kind of stock, right? So there are many risks, but I highlighted the most that I think are really risky. So now you'll have idea. I already gave you the positive stuff about the stock, and now I would like to show you the risk. Honestly, the first risk that we have from Coinbase is fluctuation of the price of crypto market, which we just witnessed in the last 2 weeks. Honestly, that the crypto market is very immature market. It's a very new market, and it is very fluctuating with the simplest news, and that will affect their income, and they will not have a steady growth from what we think, unless this bull market for cryptocurrency initiate again, and we can see more bull markets across all the cryptocurrencies. The other risk is basically the revenue is substantially dependent on the prices of crypto assets and volume of transaction conducted. So if the prices of crypto decreases, their transaction revenue will decrease. If the volume of trading crypto will decrease, also their revenue will decrease. Other risk is that most revenue they get is from Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if they were not able to get a new third, fourth, fifth cryptocurrency that has the same volume, the same prices of these two, the revenue will decrease. But if the same bull market is still on Bitcoin and Ethereum, we can see that the revenue stream will become unaffected. The fourth one is that it's very difficult to predict and evaluate the crypto market. We can see this is very related to the fluctuability of it. So it's again, the market is very new. Cyber attacks, yes. Security wise, if they were, and I hope not, got hacked or got any problem with their systems, basically is gonna ruin their brand and will make people flock away from their website. And basically, because they have a lot of wallets, so if they're basically not safe, it's dangerous. People will just run away with their cryptos. Still, it is very high evolving kind of a thing, and the regulatory landscape and a lot of stuff is still gonna happen. What we saw from China, that suddenly they stopped accepting or allowing any bank, any vendor to accept a cryptocurrency, which is basically killed the cryptocurrency in all China. This is gonna affect high, and that's one of the risks. The last risk, which I think is very important, and what we discussed at the beginning of the slides, is basically It's a very high competitive industry. We can see they are fighting so hard with Binance, and the problem is that Robinhood joined the fight, and there's many more will join the fight as well. So now what? I've given you the good things about this company, right? The positive. I've given you the negatives, the risks. So now what? I give you the risks and then I give you the rewards. What do you think is what you gonna do with it, right? I would really like to know what. Now, as promised, I will show you my fair value for this stock if it goes on both ways because it's swinging. If crypto wins and Bitcoin, Ethereum continue to grow and adopted widely, this is gonna be very positive. So ting! Coinbase dominates US and infiltrates other market. Ting! Increased revenue from different assets. Ting! Fiscal year 21 revenue to hit $5.79 billion. Now some analysts have said that's gonna cost a lot more. Alright, so I'm expecting a net revenue of 30% for the next 5 years. I expecting that the business will grow 70% for the first 5 years from now until 2025 with all the sticks we've seen now. So I think with a 10% required return for the next 5 years, today's target price for it is $878, which is a 255 increase from the price of yesterday, which was around 247, and then it dropped to 220. So maybe it's more of a, yeah, it's a catch. If you believe that the crypto market gonna go, BTC, ETH will go, revenue we got from different assets, Coinbase will be dominating the US and gets another markets, and as well as hits a $5.7 billion revenue for 2021, then you should buy the stock right now because we're seeing almost 300% revenue increase in the price. But what if banks wins? What if financial institution wins? And Bitcoin, Ethereum will decline further, and fears will dominate the investors and people start selling like what you saw this week. What if Coinbase loses the domination in the US and Binance becomes the leading market exchange in the US for crypto? What if the whole crypto asset decreases? What if the revenue they hit in FY21, which I did not put, is around $3 billion? What if their net margin stayed 30% and their annual return, annual business growth just stuck to 3% because all this ugly things that happened, of this dark cloud that happens on the cryptocurrency across the people for the next 5 years? How, if you want to get 10% return on your investment in this company, then you have to wait for the target price of $179, which is around 25% decrease from today's price. So here you have the two ways that might happen to Coinbase stock. Basically, these two ways, one is very sunny and the other it's a bit dark, right? It's like World War II, right? Which one you think? It's basically goes back to Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto. Do you think these three will recover and go back again? If so, then I'm think that this stock is a buy right now. Other financial institution and hedge funds had been giving this stock around from 335 until 400. We see 250 as well. We see 450. We see 600. We see 650. So you can see my price is a bit extreme, but reduce 20% from that and you get a $600 as well. So 878 is some price I'm still sure that they're gonna achieve, at least within the 2-3 years, or maybe less than that. I think when investors a little bit trust this Coinbase. So as you can see as well from CNN, we get 13 analysts. They have the high of 650 and the low of 250. Well, now it's got lower than that. And by the way, Kathy Woods, she sold Apple and uh, almost entirely, and she bought Coinbase, which sees that, by the way, if you don't know, Kathy Wood was buying Coinbase since it IPO, right? And Kathy Wood always believes in crypto, and you can see the research about Bitcoin and the environment and how it's actually Elon Musk is not true in that, and he showed the world that either he is playing or he really doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's it for us right now. I would really appreciate a subscribe, a like if you like my due diligence. And please let me know in the comment section if you're gonna invest and what is your target price for Coinbase. Thank you very much and see you later. Bye.